people start to rush by. I'm dizzy, twisted dance, can't find my drink, I'm in. Where are my keys? I lost my phone.
Hey guys, Aditya here again, Techie HD, with another video. And I know I haven't made a video in a while, but I thought no better time than now in 2024 to talk about my everyday carry. I haven't made one of these videos in a little while, but I do have a lot of stuff with me that I carry everywhere, and I like to watch these videos, so I thought why not make one of my own. So the first thing that I actually carry with me is probably the most boring thing of all of the stuff, and that is my chapstick. So fun fact, in 2022, I was basically on Accutane for the entire year, and that really got me in the habit of carrying chapstick with me everywhere. Recently, now in the winter, and surprisingly here in Western Washington, temperatures have suddenly gotten very low, definitely lower than what we're normally used to, and so it's actually kind of a good habit to just keep one of these in my pocket with me. I normally just buy those 2-packs that you can get at the pharmacy or near the checkout at your local grocery store. The other thing that I have with me pretty much all the time are my keys. I don't necessarily take my car keys everywhere, but if I am headed out, I always make sure to grab my Orbit key. Now, Orbit key was actually very kind enough to send this out to me to feature on the channel, and honestly, I've actually bought multiple Orbit keys in the past. You guys have seen them in my videos in the past, and I used to have a blue one that my girlfriend now uses. I'm a huge fan of these things. I've used them for years, and I definitely recommend picking one of these up. They have not paid to be in this video. This is just a product that I've used for years, and they decided to send me a version that I liked a little bit better than the colorway that I already had. The next thing that I have in my rotation, and while I don't always have this on me, I do find myself carrying them more often than not, are my AirPods Pro 2. So some of you will remember if you've watched previous everyday carry videos, I used to have the Nothing Ear 1s. That was a much cheaper set of in-ear earbuds, and it actually worked pretty well. I've honestly had a lot of trouble over the last couple of years finding a pair of in-ear earbuds that fit my ears and didn't fall out. I had the first gen AirPods Pro as well, but they used to fall into my ears even when I was just sitting around. The AirPods Pro 2, not really sure what they did differently about these, whether it's the ear tips or maybe it's just the placebo effect, but they fit in my ears really well. I wear them to the gym 3 days a week. I wear them at calls when I'm on the phone with my manager and with coworkers, and they just seem to do the job really well. The battery lasts forever. I just wish that they had the USB-C case, and I'm not really in the mood to spend the money on it right now. The other kind of boring thing that I have in my everyday carry is, I don't even know if I should feature this in the everyday carry, but I do carry it with me everywhere, every day. It just sits on my face. It's my glasses. I've had this pair of glasses for the last year or so, and I bought them on Zenny.com a couple years ago. I actually have a second pair of these that I just bought recently as well, just because they fit my face so well, and I really like how they look, and I get a pair from my insurance every year. So I know a couple seconds ago I just said that I walked places, but honestly, since I've lived in the suburb for the last 2 years, it really doesn't happen that much anymore. Every time I leave the house, I'm basically driving, and so I have my car keys on me. Now, this key's a little bit beat up, unfortunately. I haven't decided to take the second key out and actually carry it around with me because I'm waiting for this one to get worse. I've dropped it a couple times, and that's really why the paint is chipped on the sides, but this is my carmine red Porsche Boxster GTS's key. The key is actually paint matched in this carmine red color, which is the same color as my car. I've made a couple videos about this car on my channel, which I really like, but in fact, I decided to start a whole separate channel for car videos, and you can check that out at a link in the description below if you were so interested. I really love the car. I go on a ton of drives, and I'm a huge car guy, so this thing has just been awesome. Now, I've tried out a number of different card holder wallets for the last couple of years. Some of you have seen some of my previous videos where I literally use just a paper clip for my different cards that I carried around with me everywhere. That changed recently when I got this Bellroy flip case wallet for Christmas. It's one that I've been wanting for a little while, but just didn't want to spend the money on because my last card holder was working just fine. That was a present that I got from a friend who used to work at Coach and was able to get me that with my monogrammed AA initials, which is really cool. But this one is one that's caught my eye for a little while now, and I've really wanted to try it out. It has these dual flaps, one angled and one flat, and they both meet in the middle with this little spine that has magnets on it, and so they actually flip back into place and clasp onto the magnets. It holds 8 cards on one side and 2 on the other, and it's actually been really cool. You can kind of flip them open on one side or the other. I keep my 2 most frequently used ones on the left with the diagonal flap, and all the others on the right. And it's really slim, light, feels great in the hand, and I've actually really enjoyed using it so far. Here's the thing that I think a lot of people have been waiting for, and it's my iPhone. I got the iPhone 15 Pro earlier in November, right when it came out. I'm on the iPhone upgrade program, so I basically get the latest version of the Pro phone every year. I got it in this raw titanium color this year, and I actually really love it. I've dropped it a couple times, and unfortunately that's just par for the course for me, but I don't like using cases, and the titanium seems to have held up pretty well. I do have a couple little nicks here and there, but the screen has been pretty much intact, although I do use a glass screen protector, and I've been through probably 6 of them since November already. Luckily, they're pretty cheap, and they work really well. They're pretty easy to install these days, because most of the cheapo ones that you buy on Amazon also come with the little applicator guides, which I think are really helpful, and I don't have any dust under here, which is great. The thing I really love about this phone, and the whole reason I bought it, was the camera. That's the reason I buy the iPhone every year anyway, because I don't like to carry my EOS R Mark VI with me everywhere, and the camera on the iPhone 15 Pro is just excellent. I wish I had the 5x optical zoom of the Pro Max, but I just don't like carrying a big phone like that. USB-C has been a nice addition to the phone this year, although I kind of miss the confident click of the Lightning connector, which the USB-C connector just doesn't seem to provide. Also, the little action button at the top that replaces the mute switch, although I've gotten used to it recently, it's a little bit too far up on the phone for me, and I honestly don't really use it for anything other than toggling the mute setting on my phone, which doesn't happen very often. It basically gets no use. Finally, for those that know me, you know that I'm not really into smartwatches. I used to have an Apple Watch Series 7 back in the day, but I never really found myself using it. And even though I go to the gym a lot more today than I used to back when I had it, I'm still a mechanical watch guy through and through. My daily wear watch is my Tudor Black Bay Blue. This is a 41mm diver watch, and I absolutely love it. It uses an ETA movement, which is actually slightly thinner than the in-house Rolex movement that the newer Black Bay 58 series uses. But the power reserve is really great, it's cheaper to service, and I love the Tudor Rose logo, which they kind of moved away from. The shield is nice, but I feel like this gives me so much of the vintage Rolex vibe that I really love without having to pay Submariner money, although I do think I'm going to get a Submariner sometime in the near future. While my Black Bay basically gets the most wrist time, I do keep a lot of watches in rotation. A couple that are my favorites that I find myself wearing pretty often are my Oris Big Crown, my vintage Seiko Pulsations and Navigator Timer, my Mercer Lexington, and my Tissot PRX, amongst a couple of others. One of the new additions to my everyday carry is actually my driving gloves. I go on a lot of high-performance backroad driving pretty much every weekend with a large group of Porsches and other sports cars, and I organize and manage these all the time, and one of my interesting quirks is no matter how cold it is outside, if it's not raining, I have the top down. I love the sound of my screaming flat 6 motor, and one of the things that makes it really hard to actually live with that is the fact that my Alcantara steering wheel is not heated. And so I asked for these gloves for Christmas, and my girlfriend was really excited and happy to get them for me, and so I decided to put them in rotation. They actually sit in my glove box, which is really interesting because I've never actually had gloves in my car's glove box. They work really well. You can buy them on Etsy. They're made relatively well. I still need to drive with them a little bit more and break them in, but they've been a really great addition to have in the car, especially for those really, really cold 20-degree top-down mornings when you're doing a lot of driving and the wind is just freezing your knuckles off. Either way, that's been it. That's been my everyday carry for 2024. I sometimes take my camera out with me. I wish I would more often, but it's really massive and heavy, and my iPhone 15 Pro does an excellent job of taking great pictures and videos, and so it just doesn't happen as much as I would love for it to. I'm really going to try and change that in 24 though, and I actually just picked up one of those little Kodak lens dispo lenses for my camera, and hopefully that should help bring a little bit more fun to my photography every day. Either way, that's been it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to leave a like and a comment below the description area for any future videos you'd like to see, and I'll try my best to get working on them. Thanks so much, have a great 2024, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.